Right, so next toy. It's kind of a two-in-one thing, hopefully. Probably mean it doesn't do either thing very well. But I need a grinder for grinding stuff. And these seem quite important for cleaning up the metal before we weld it. And for getting nice square clean edges to things as well. So obviously space is very limited in my garage, and you'll see it's another. I didn't buy this one from Lidl, I got this off of eBay. Hands up who's surprised I bought something from eBay. Anyway, let's have a look what's inside the box. I don't throw those away, so it's got some spare belts, 80, 120, goodie stuff. Looks like it's already built. It's ready to rock and roll. Obviously going to need to bolt it down. I'm going to be putting a new little shelf in over there because my workbench here is just going to have power tools on and no actual space to be able to use any power tools. I just see to try this temporarily. Obviously just bolts down. I've got some holes in here, so I might just put a bolt through just as I can have a quick play. Okay, so anyone see the instructions? The box is still rattling, so there must be something underneath here. And some instructions. Right, well, I feel, let's have a quick look what this is in here. That looks like a spark thingy. There possibly. Yeah, so that fits on there, there's some holes there. Oh, let's just fucking do it. Well, I didn't swear then, by the way. Just in case you think I wouldn't do such a thing. I'll do it that way round. Washer must go on the front. So we put washer on the front. Have a screw through there. Can't fit that way either. So what do we have, a washer? I'm assuming the washer was to spread the load on the back, but obviously not. Silly old me making assumptions. So that just flicks down and keeps the worst of the sparkies out my eyes. Do that and up. And oh, I got a bigger screw there. Bag. Oh, look, it's happening again. I'm actually going to be looking at these. But, do you know what? It's bloody cold out here. There's lots and lots of words in here. And I just heard my favourite words from inside the house, which was my wife Jane saying I'm putting the kettle on. So I think the best place to read these is inside with a warm cup of coffee. See you later. Okay, it's the next day. Oh, what do you think? Do you like my mug? Anyway, right, so yeah, it's next day. I'm going to finish setting up this grinder sander thing. And sorry about the irritating noise, but winter seems to have arrived today. And even down in the sunny south, my garage is like a bloody icebox. So heater's on in the background. Anyway, after yesterday, I've read the instructions, and of course it's bleeding obvious when you read them, and that these are like the little guards that you put on for, you know, resting stuff on. So I'll put those together now, and what I'm going to do is just temporarily bolt this down, because I need this to prep the box section that I'm going to use for making the build table, but also I've got my workbench here, and I'm going to put an additional bit of bench in that area there, which obviously I need to weld up some box section for, and I need this, and that will go on that bit there, but I need this before I can do that. Yeah, like chicken and the egg or something like that. Okay, so that's it, in its temporary home until I get that new shelf sorted. So it's temporarily bolted down, just a couple of bolts, but I'm sure that would do. Plugged in, and let's have a go. First switch on. It's definitely switched on. It's definitely quite a slow down, so obviously if I decide to grind my fingers, I'd better get them out rather than expect it to stop quickly. I suppose better still is don't stick my fingers in there, isn't it? Right, these are a bit odd because these are both the same size. It almost seems to me like I should maybe have a smaller one there and a larger there, but they're definitely both the same size. So it doesn't really give me support all the way across there, which is a bit silly, isn't it, really? But okay, so let's get a bit of scrap metal and get doing some sparkies. So, safety first, kids. Goggles, thick gloves. What I'm going to do is just clean up one of these. That's one of the pipes I cut yesterday on the new chop saw. Let's just see how it does. Well, I suppose my thing would be, as you could probably see, when I pushed that down a little bit harder on the flat there, it started slowing down. So I suppose unsurprisingly for a very budget device, it's not the most powerful in the world. But I think for what I want it for, it's going to do the trick. You can see we've got a nice, so for welding you kind of, I don't know, can you see the angle on that? You need to just sort of take the corners off, so we've got a nice wide surface for the weld to kind of take into. And it's done that job quite nicely actually. It's a lot easier than, you know, a lot nicer than if I'd have just used my angle grinder, that's for sure. Right, let's find something I can use on that side. Goggles back on. It's so bloody cold out here, these are misting up. So we'll put down the little guard. Okay, so I've done much the same on that end, just put a chamfer on. Linnet, I think it might be the proper name. But you could definitely see with that wheel, there's not a massive amount of power there. So my first thoughts on this is, you know, it's cheap and cheerful. I will check how much I paid for it, but it's like 60 or 70 quid, I think. And for sort of a machine that kind of does both, it's reasonable. You know, it's lightweight. Obviously, you know, it's a fairly hefty bit of metal, but I could stop that fairly easily, which I guess just means that if I'm, you know, you just got to not lay into it. It's not a professional quality tool by any means, is it? I mean, but for the money, I would say probably fine.